Hi, this is Ingrid. Thank you for joining me again today. Today's topic is forgiveness. Many of you on your life's journey and on your way to your life's path have encountered the element of forgiveness, whether it is unforgiveness or forgiveness. Forgiveness is almost like a taboo. Many people, when they hear, oh, forgiveness, they're like, I don't want to talk about this right now because I don't want to forgive the person. And understandably, this is a stance that many of us take, especially when we've been hurt. Pain is something that results in an unforgiving spirit. Most of us on the life's journey and on our way to our spiritual paths encounter forgiveness on one level or the other. To forgive or not to forgive it should be the cliche. I have chosen in my own life experiences and as I've encountered the circumstances and situations that I created and some of them that I did not, that it was necessary for me to forgive. Not necessarily like other people say for the other person, but because without forgiveness, it's impossible to let go of those things that are limiting you, the individual. How can you move forward full of life, full of energy, and full of passion and full of expectation when everything that is rooted in and cemented it is based on a forgiving spirit? Many of you who determine in your spirits that you want to be successful will find that you can reach a certain level of success, but that success will be limited if you possess an unforgiving spirit. Unforgiveness is one of the aspects that must be dealt with in dealing with the earthly journey. You have to overcome the element of unforgiveness. If you have an unforgiving spirit, it not only limits you, the individual, it limits your interactions. Uh, Trust, a lack of trust, the inability to really, you know, expect more from people. Um, it limits you. It limits you because you can't get past those things in order to receive the things that are rightfully yours. Forgiveness is something that is inherent. It is inherent because it's something that we are capable of letting go of. We don't have to hold on to it. It's a choice. For those of us who have chosen to hold on to an unforgiving spirit, it denotes our character. It denotes a character that is still riddled with pain. It denotes a character that determines it wants to be victimized. Are you a victim? Really? Are you really so hell bent on not forgiving someone at your own demise? Many of us don't think of it this way. Many of us don't believe that not to forgive someone will result in our own detriment. But it's true. If you don't forgive someone, it does affect you. And it affects you not just short term, it affects you on a long term basis. I remember many years ago after my divorce and I moved to Florida from New York, I thought I had forgiven my ex husband. He asked for my forgiveness, and I said, I forgive you. And at the time, those words were true. I did forgive him. Years later, when we encountered each other and something else came up, I realized that what I had said in the past was not true in the present. I had not forgiven him because the same old feelings came up. The same feelings of anger, the same emotions of futility, frustration. Those of us who have an unforgiving spirit, I can go through the whole list. You're very familiar with the list of emotions that accompany an unforgiving spirit. And those emotions surfaced again. And one of the things I realized was just because you're out of sight and out of mind does not mean that you forgive the individual. The individual still needs you to forgive them, and you need to forgive them for yourself. One of the things that limited me with an unforgiving spirit was how I dealt with other relationships, how I dealt with other people, especially men. It's very hard to say, I didn't forgive that one, but this one I love. It's an impossibility. That love is as limited as your inability to forgive. Forgiveness is necessary on this life's journey. Forgiveness is part of the life path journey. If you want to be successful, if you want to promote a character that is built on strength and one that is built on truth, then it's necessary to acknowledge your truth. Your truth should be predicated upon the fact that forgiveness is a necessary component of limited living an unlimited life and in living a spirit of excellence. If you desire to be an excellent spirit, you must learn to forgive. It is a necessary component in this life journey. My name is Ingrid Felton. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope that these words are words that can help you overcome something somewhere along this journey.